everybody. I'm Larry Ridley. You're tuned into...
Larry, we welcome our viewers to Duval County, the northern part of Florida, and the largest city in the Sunshine State, as EA Sports coverage of the NFL takes us to Everbank Field here in Jacksonville. Straight ahead, we punch the second of 2 tickets to the AFC title game, and we've got a great one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Jacksonville Jaguars. They'll give it to him right up the gut, across the 30 to the 31-yard line. Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Now a 2nd down throw for Mariota. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete. A tough spot here on their opening drive. This is 3rd and 7. On 3rd down, Mariota. Quick hitter here, it's complete. 2 yards is all they'll get on the completion. It's 4th down.
They didn't get the first down, but I have to say I do like the call. I like what they were trying to do. Try and hit your receiver on the run and see if he can pick it up, keep it on his feet, get a little rack yardage.
Yeah, but a nice job defensively to get to him and keep him short of the first. Taking it about the 16, and he'll be out of bounds right around the 20. A good kick, 48 yards, 4 on the return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. They come out here in the eye. First carry for Carlos Hyde. And this defense feeling the encouragement. They stop him at the line of scrimmage on the first play of the afternoon. And ready now for 2nd and 9. They run it again with Hyde. And a short gain there as he'll get it up only to about the 24. Give him 4 on the ground there. They're now left with 3rd and 6. 3rd down now following the run. They're going to look to throw. And he's got Gresham. And he's got the first down yardage before he's brought down at the 42. He goes for 18 there as the drive will continue.
I don't know whether I want to be a fly on the wall or not when they hear the explanation of how one of the bigger targets on the field, the tight end could be that wide open and uncovered downfield.
And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The safety blitz turns out to be a great call defensively as they sack him for a loss of 9.
And plays like that really hurt play calling. They had a really nice gain on the previous play, but gave about half the yardage back on the sack. Excellent pressure up front. Nowhere to go with the football. Down he goes.
They get 2 yards back, but they're going to need a lot more than that here on 3rd down.
Well, so many times we look at a short run and we praise the offense for trying to set the tempo and establish things, but the defensive guys, Hey, they just won the battle there. It wasn't a big run given up. They don't always have to absorb the body blows. Sometimes they dish them out themselves.
And the Jags get to him as down he goes. It's a loss of 10 on the sack, and it leads to 4th. On 4th down, here's Brian Anger now to kick this one away. 3rd and long, defense with no fear. They brought the pressure.
Zero fear at all. That means they feel really good about the guys who are going to cover. But the biggest one is they think their pressure will get there before he has a chance to find an open receiver.
Illegal blocking the ball. Return team. Automatic first down.
A first down throw for Mariota. And some room to maneuver. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. It's a gain of 7, and it'll bring up a 2nd down. On play action, Mariota. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack.
Holding offense.
And their inaugural sack of the game coming from an unlikely source.
You mean it wasn't a linebacker? It wasn't a defensive end?
It was somebody like you.
Oh, my goodness. Yeah, that's a surprise for the offense. That's not what they normally get when they think about pressure.
So a costly penalty and now a tougher 3rd down situation.
17, guys.
Mariota from the gun on 3rd down. And he's going to drop this off to his fullback. It's a gain of 5 on the play, and that's going to make it 4th down.
It's interesting because when I'm watching college football and I'm evaluating guys for the draft now, my list of fullbacks, pure fullbacks, it's a very short list. I'm probably evaluating more punters and kickers now than I am fullbacks, but it doesn't matter what you call the position, it's who you put there, and there we saw completion.
A good return there, 17 yards, and the offense will come back onto the field for the 1st and 10. Here's the Denver offense now as they get set to take over here. And last time they were very fortunate, this offense. They went for it on 4th, turned it over in their own territory, but the other guys held up. They didn't give up any points.
So how about the guy with the #1 headset on the sidelines, the head coach? That was planned going into it, not necessarily to not get the 1st down or to have the defense have to hold
But he
up.
trusted his defense.
Trusted his defense very much, and I think that's how he's going to play this game. Go for it. Be aggressive because I've got the wild bunch backing me up over here on my own sideline.
Now we'll see what his offense can do. On 2nd down, Hyde. And he's got room. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. They pick up 12 on the play there, and they move the chains. 1st down and 10 now for the offensive group.
And that run was what a lot of people call an explosive run. Gave them good yardage, solid yardage. They feel good about the whole thing, and they did it behind a 2 tight end set. It's always interesting to watch what offenses want to do with the 2 tight ends. Sometimes they line them up together for a power set. Sometimes they put one on each side of the line of scrimmage to balance things out. No matter what, though, when you see 2 tight ends on the field, your first thought is to think run. In this case, the offense was able to run successfully.
Now they'll switch it up here and look to throw. And he's got Edelman for the first time. That's complete. 11 yards for number 11. The former 7th-round pick, Julian Edelman, just continues to have such a productive career.
And has made himself into a receiver. Remember, he was a college quarterback, and not just a productive one, a very good one.
At Kent State, right?
Yes, a great leader, a guy who can make plays with his feet and his arm. Got to the NFL and had to convert into being a receiver and was drafted that way. And that conversion, oh boy, it's been good. Tough day, tough sledding right there, and it's been that way the entire game. Not a whole lot of room to ramble for him.
Yeah, you're right. It's been that way all afternoon. Didn't get a whole lot better there. That one goes for 13 yards, and it moves the sticks.
I think that's a big pickup for a first down because when you run a drag route against zone, you're sometimes asking for trouble because you might run into a defender.
Yeah, well, there they ran into a first down. Executed it to perfection. Now on first down, he'll drop to throw it. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Alongside Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. It's Bronco football to begin quarter number 2, but they face a 2nd and long to start things out. One receiver to the left is Cooper.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. They get 11 back on that one. It leads to 3rd down. And now the passing game here in the second quarter starting to heat up a little bit.
Don't you feel the rhythm starting to happen, right? You see it, now the confidence is starting to rise. I think now as a play caller, because that has happened, you lean on it a little bit more. You don't go totally away from running the football, but you do say, guess what? We can throw it well with a whole lot of confidence. Partner, we're into the second quarter, and I guess you can kind of look at it both ways. The offense, they've got to figure out what they're going to do because they haven't scored any points. But if you're the defense, you're feeling great about what you got going on. The only concern you have, if you get to the half, what adjustments will the offense make to try to defeat you?
So after slogging through a scoreless first quarter, we have action on the scoreboard. A field goal makes it 3-0.
Well, with these two offenses, we weren't going to stay 0-0 forever, were we? I'm not sure that this opens the floodgates, but I doubt that's the last scoring we're going to see.
And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. And still no points on the scoreboard. You're coming off of the 3 and out. They're just looking for anything to grab onto right now, aren't they?
I'm wondering if someone's going to take charge in the huddle. You know, we always look to the quarterback, but sometimes it's another player on the team, a star, a veteran, someone with some excitement and energy. It's like, all right, guys, let's shake things up and let's go because they still have an opportunity to make things happen.
Shake it off. He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. It looks like a loss of right around 11 there on first down to set him back on 2nd.
Well, so much for setting the tone of the drive offensively. Giving up a big sack that loses that kind of yardage, not a great start.
Looking to jam the receivers at the line here. Press coverage look defensively. 2nd down, Mariota looking deep downfield. He's got a man complete. He's at the 30. 10. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brandon Cooks, 94 yards. And the Jaguars have taken the lead. So from back deep in their own territory all the way into the end zone, you think they expected to score on that one?
I'm not sure they expected to score, but they also showed that they're not averse to taking a little bit of a risk there, right? Taking a chance because the normal call is take care of the football, run it, be safe. Instead, they put it in the air and took a gamble, and it paid off in a big way. That wasn't an analytics call. That wasn't a fantasy guy's call. That was like a video game call right there.
It was a little bit of a video game call, but it worked. And Denver getting set to take the field. And last time able to get 3. That's not what they wanted. They wanted 6, but they got at least something. They mustered something out of the drive.
They'll take it. I like the way you've described it. Not ideal, but they'll take it. Anything to put some points on the board. But this time on offense, they don't even want to see the field goal kicker trot on the field. They want that ball in the end zone.
Yeah, they'll be going for 6. Again, it's high. And there just continues to be nowhere to run. He's bottled up again at the line of scrimmage.
I don't know that it was exactly drawn up this way, but sometimes blitzes aren't just for passes. Sometimes you have run blitzes, and the safety came through clean and took him down on the draw play. Excellent job by the defender diagnosing and making the play.
Hurry up, here we go. Blue 90.
Out of the gun now on third down. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. And we say it all the time, have to be able to get rid of the ball sooner than that.
You have to help your offensive line out. They're going to protect you as best they can. And if you're getting 3 to 5 seconds to throw the ball, they're doing a really nice job. But when you hold it and give up a sack, you're really almost discrediting their work.
Taking it about the 36. 12 yards on the return that time. And the Jaguars go on offense, first down and 10. Out comes the Jaguar offense now as they get set to take over. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay. In that groove here this go around. On second down, Mariota again. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And taking it across midfield and just shy of the 40. A nice pickup there of 11 yards, and it'll move the sticks.
I'm going to show my age here a little bit. We used to talk about running backs catching the ball as safety valves. Nowadays, they're a big part of the passing offense.
Quit acting like you're so old. You're only 65. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down. Officially no gain on the play, and it's second down. Yeah, I think the blitz there really disrupted the draw.
Yeah, and it's usually when you catch them in a blitz, the draw works pretty well. If you're the offensive coordinator right now, that's visor throwing time, isn't it? Because that's supposed to work in a big way.
Going right side here, and that's complete. They give him 14 yards that time and a fresh set of downs.
That's the type of play there that puts a defense into stress. Marcus Mariota on the run. You don't know whether he's going to take it downfield or throw the footballs we just saw there. And boy, was he accurate with that one.
You know, the Oregon coaches offered him a scholarship without ever seeing him start a game because they saw him in camp. They saw plays like that. Offered it.
He didn't start very much in high school, but he started a lot once he got to Oregon.
20 yards on the pickup there. And the Jaguars are going to have a first and goal. So after that big gain, let's see what else the offense has up its sleeve. Working out of the gun, Mariota. Eluding the pressure right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. A minute 57 to go in this first half. Back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. A reminder, as we did all through the regular season, we'll check in with Larry Ridley at halftime. He'll have highlights and analysis of this first half of play. Again, it's Mariota. And that is caught. Touchdown, Jacksonville. Brandon Cooks. 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And he puts it through. Now he's having a nice little first half here, partner.
And it's a first half that leaves us anticipating what can still come. I mean, 2 touchdowns already here through the second quarter. There could be plenty more before this game is over.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And here comes the Jags defense as they get back out there. They were able to force that 3 and out. That led to a touchdown. Defenses obviously love 3 and outs. They want more of that.
They created a very short, And not too sweet stint for the offense by getting them off the field that fast, but it set up their own offense, gave them a little spark, and they took it downfield and scored.
Now the question, can they do it again? Let's see. So they're still at the original line of scrimmage here. 2nd down and 10.
Let's go. 3-19. 3-19.
From the shotgun, he'll look to throw. He dumps it to Hyde. And this one will go to the 28-yard line. Call it a 3-yard gain. And just like that, it's 3rd down. They're going to hurry back to the line now. They'll set up a throw. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now the Jags defense deciding to call a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. That's taken on the 25. And he goes out of bounds across the 40-yard line. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. Marcus Mariota getting ready to go again here on offense. And he's been good. 2 first-half touchdown passes, no interceptions so far.
Does a lot for your confidence. Does a great deal for your team. Gives them a lead.
Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. It's the safety, Kurt Coleman. And the return will stop them well inside their own 20 at the 15-yard line.
Oh, and that's a nice job defensively to get a piece of the football. He's going to pop it into the air, and then it's the tip drill. And good concentration by him to react to it and pull in the interception.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive, surveying the field. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets his football out shy of the 30 to the 29. And quickly, they get to the line. Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. He completes it to Boyd. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. To the right side, and he's got Edelman. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. And movement by one of the Broncos up front, and in comes the flag.
False start, offense.
So the penalty by the offense, and now they face a 1st and 15.
Here we go. Green, 39.
They'll stick with the passing game as he looks to throw. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. So the defense is put... in a tough spot. It's 2nd and long. They'll look to throw again. Looking for his running back, and he's got it. And now the Jags going to signal for another timeout. So that means they're down to 1 remaining here as we head toward halftime. Well, they've gone backwards so far in this series. 3rd and 13. To throw again. Caught right side. Gresham. Just a 5-yard pickup, and it leads to 4th down.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the Jaguars will take over at their 20-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And the ball backed way up. So thinking with this amount of time on the clock, probably just sit on it, and we'll see these two teams go to the lockers.
Yeah, I don't think you want to overthink it in this situation. Either side of the ball. Just go ahead and finish up the half and get on out and talk about it.
Trying to shake off the interception from the last drive. He'll look to throw. And that'll be incomplete.
Not too many things get to a quarterback of this magnitude, but I think it's safe to say that pressure can get to any quarterback.
Now, he's obviously a great franchise quarterback, but felt the pressure, threw it incomplete. And they get to Mariota here as he's dropped on the sack. They'll wind up losing 10 on the sack, and it'll lead to a 3rd and long. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense. And with halftime on the horizon, they'll be out of timeouts from here forward.
And the Broncos go to a nickel set on 3rd down.
Yeah, they've got an extra DB out there. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Going up top. And that is incomplete. 2 seconds left on the clock.
On every offensive coordinator, every play caller sheet, they have about 5 or 6 plays per game that they call shot plays or big plays, and you don't get many opportunities to dial them up, and they just did, and they drop it with a great chance to make a big play. That's going to hurt.
And likely time for one final play here in the half, so they will go for it on 4th down. Final play of the half here, Mariota. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And he'll be brought down, it looks like right at, what's that? Now, on the back. Okay, well, something happened to Larry in the halftime show, I guess. We're ready for the 3rd quarter. Let's go. That's fielded in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. Here comes the Broncos offensive unit here as they'll have it first to begin this 3rd quarter. And with this deficit, you can't have too many more drives like the last drive where you had to punt it away.
You know what I would tell my offense right here? The punter doesn't exist, guys. He doesn't even exist. He's not a team anymore. I just cut him, all right? So you've got to go out and create some offense for us here and give us some points. No way does that guy get on the field on this drive.
Poor punter.
Yeah, it wasn't his fault. But hey, listen, there's got to be casualties at times. We're trying to win a game.
He'll look to throw. And Gresham's got it over the middle. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch.
They gave up the completion there, but this is what zone defenses count on. Catching the ball and not much run after the catch.
Here we go. Green, 39.
On play action, they'll throw. And Gresham has it left side. And they'll lose a yard that time, and that's going to lead to a 3rd down.
Well, I know it goes against the instincts of the person catching the ball because all you're ever taught is catch the football, don't drop it.
But drop it there.
Yeah, in that situation, dropping it would have been better. End up losing yardage, even though they... completed the pass.
As good as a sack.
Yeah, how about that? Although they won't get the same credit for it, and it won't help them at contract time.
Green, 39.
Out of the gun now on 3rd down. And Gresham, the tight end, brings it in. And he'll be brought down right at the 45-yard line. It's a 4-yard pickup, and that's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far.
So much about offense is what you call hidden yardage. You know, you throw the ball to someone, they catch it, and then they can make a big play. You know, they create a play, run after catch. They did a really nice job there limiting that and keeping him from a first down.
Yeah, stopped him in his tracks. A good return there, call it 13 yards. And it'll be Jaguar football as they take over deep in their own territory. Now we take a glance at the offense as they work their way back out for their first possession of the second half. They have the lead here. Well, we talk a lot about pregame speeches. What are halftime speeches like?
For the most part, not nearly as emotional. They're a lot more clinical. Every now and then, they'll get after you if they think they need to light a fire. But in this case, let's go into the virtual locker room, because here's what I think happened. They got in there and they said, listen, let's take control right away. Defense, we've got the lead. Defense, don't give up any points. Turn the ball back over to the offense and let them go down and score and give us more of a cushion in the game. Check so far. Defense shut them down. Let's see if the offense gets done.
And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful? You're losing, playing against a good quarterback like he is, to not play too much zone?
Yeah, yes.
Brandon Cooks, the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. Brandon Cooks saving his best for the playoffs with his third touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars add 6 to their lead.
And this is obviously quite a performance. And most of the time when we talk about someone putting a team on their back, I think we're talking about a guy who runs the football. In this case, it's a guy out wide catching it, and he's done exactly that. Truly leading his team right now towards victory. 3
touchdown catches. He's been the headliner. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And let's look at Carlos Hyde now. And in the early going, the running game, as we see the numbers, it just wasn't on point. Well, now it's gotten more true to form.
And sometimes it takes a little while for an offensive line to get in sync, because early in a game, defenses throw different patterns at you, different formations, different sets, and you might not block them quite the way you want to, but as you start to get into a groove and you figure out what they're doing, now it all comes together, and that's what we're seeing right now.
Give him 9 there on the first down completion. They'll give to Hyde. And his rough afternoon continues. He's going nowhere again. He can muster only a yard there, and they'll be left with a third and very short.
The best defensive linemen, they play with great leverage so they can get low and not get bowled over by offensive linemen. They have excellent hands. They can throw people off on a play. We just saw a great example of a really good run stop.
Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Kevin Pierre-Louis in there to get him, and that's sack number 6 for him on the year.
Probably a little bit of a surprise call there on 3rd and inches that they decided to throw the football. And how difficult is that for an offensive line when they look up and see all those extra bodies coming at them?
Tons of bodies coming in. They get a huge sack there. This is taken around the 12. And he is out of bounds on the other side of midfield.
Illegal block in the back. Return team. Automatic first down.
The defense in press coverage here. They'll come out in the pistol. Now a play fake here on first down. Toward the sideline, and look at that catch. Dragging the toes, and that's going to be a first down. Well done.
As if he didn't have enough to think about on that route, the comeback route, coming back to the football and catching it, decided to make sure he toe-tapped and kept himself in bounds.
And that was spectacular, but on the comeback route, maybe a little easier to deal with the sideline since you've got better vision of it?
I think that's a great point, because you should know exactly where you're going and know how much space you have and make sure you get your feet down. But, yeah, coming back to the football, I like it. Good vision.
No gain on the play there. Second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
A good pickup there at 22.
There are so many things to watch for when you play defense. And reading your keys, you always hear about that, and having your eyes in the right place. Sometimes your eyes can fool you. How about that play action there? They sprang the big guy, didn't it?
Able to dump it over the top to him. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3.
This drive is turning into an extended one, and the guy carrying the ball, he's becoming more like a body blows guy. Every carry is putting some damage on the defense. So after a while, I'm not too sure how many guys are going to want to run up and tackle him.
Now a handoff here to his running back. And he'll take this one down near the 15. Give him a yard on the run there, and that's going to set up a 3rd down and 2.
I do know from experience that when you slow down someone's running game, you're now doing the dictating on defense. And guess what? Now you're getting ready to tee off on their quarterback because they have to throw it all the time. But you still have to be alert for the draws and other plays of that nature to make sure you don't get hurt.
Hit as he throws there, incomplete. Well, the numbers have been good in the passing game, and certainly a big reason why they have the lead. But now here, 3rd quarter, maybe go to the run game a little more?
Yeah, perhaps. I mean, after that incompletion, a little credit to the defense for shutting them down on that play. Maybe you try and run the football a little bit more in this spot. But they have to feel good about how they've been throwing it overall.
So they were able to move the ball into the red zone, but they'll wind up coming away with just 3.
Yeah, 32-yarder. That's equal to an extra point nowadays, and those are no problem for an NFL kicker.
That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Denver getting set to take the field. And on that last drive, went for it on 4th, turned it over. A good job by their defense, though. They held them to 3, but this offense, they've got to be a little bit better, a little bit more careful here.
And sometimes when you see these calls on 4th down, when they decide to go for it, it's not necessarily the coach saying, I believe in my offense. Sometimes the coach saying, I believe in my defense. I can afford to go for it here, because if we don't get it, I don't think we'll give up more than 3. And that's exactly what happened.
You think that factored in?
I do. I think that he had that in his mind going into the game, that I'm going to be aggressive on offense because I know.
And all the ball's out. Hyde fumbled it.
Wow. That ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover. On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And that one incomplete. Had some position but couldn't hold on, and it brings up 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been terrific so far.
And when all else fails as a defender, when you're not there in the coverage, your best friend is exactly what we saw there. A big play shot taken by the offense. Unfortunately, it ended in a big drop.
This will be fielded at the 17. Down the numbers. There he goes. Touchdown, Jaguars. Marquise Goodwin, 83 yards. And the Jaguars add on to their lead. And we always talk about kick returns being so exciting on kickoffs, punt return almost equally exciting.
And typically we talk about the kickoff return.
Back now here on EA Sports, where the 4th quarter will begin with a kickoff following the score on the final play of the 3rd quarter. That'll be taken in the end zone. And he won't return this one. He'll go down to a knee, and they'll start at the 25. And Denver getting set to take the field. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
Go to
so
something
well,
else.
and maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
So the offense has it 1st and 10.
Hey. We got three. Blue, line it.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And no escaping this time as he'll go down. They got him for a sack. The corner blitz pays off there as they sack him for a loss of 5.
The game plan for any defense is finding ways to make a quarterback uncomfortable in the pocket. When you bring pressure from all angles, you never know who's going to get home. In this case, the left cornerback, right in the face of him, puts him down.
6 yards is the pickup, and that'll lead to a 3rd down.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route, and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
They go screen pass to Hyde. And he'll get it out a couple yards shy of midfield at the 48. 8 yards on the screen there, not enough. And it'll be 4th down. Here's Brian Anger now, as they're forced to kick for the 6th time today. Now a high kick, almost a pooch punt. It'll be 37 yards there on the punt, and out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos defense getting ready to go, and 3 points surrendered on the last drive against them. They bent a little bit, but they didn't break.
I like that, and that's not always wrong. We run into a lot of coordinators that talk about, well, if I give up 3 points, my whole day's ruined. Actually, it's not. Just giving up field goals usually gives your team a chance to win if you're playing good defense.
Yeah, especially in the National Football League. Couple of Broncos there in on the tackle.
That's a good play by the guys on the defensive side of the ball. Held them to a gain of 2, and that changes the playbook a little bit now for the guy calling plays. 2nd and 8. Now he's got to probably think about going to the air instead of maybe staying with the ground game.
And incomplete.
There are a good number of coaches that any time they call an in route are really worried about the play because there's so much traffic ordinarily that the ball has to get through to get to the receiver. And on that play, it was batted down.
A nickel back added defensively as they look to stop this 3rd and 8. On 3rd down, Mariota. And this time he's got the hookup. It's complete. The 40. Past the 20. Touchdown, Jaguars. A big play there. 81 yards. And the Jaguars continue to roll.
Well, this game is definitely over, but we do know some people like to go ahead and continue to add to their score, don't we?
Yeah, I don't know that they need to add any more right now, though. I'm just starting to think about those dinner plans tonight, my friend.
Well, you and I will be thinking about dinner plans, but we also know that plenty of people are thinking, how can I get some more scores for my fantasy, for other things? They're trying to figure that part out now.
By the way, last weekend we went sushi because that's what you wanted. We're going steak tonight.
I'm in.
All right. Here's the Jags defense now as they head back out there. They'll be hoping to come up with that same type of effort they had last time when they forced the punt that led to a touchdown.
And that type of effort just continues to carry over because once you get it done once, you feel like you can do it again and again. It's no guarantee, but you got to like the confidence that they take back out into the field.
Now, will they keep that confidence? Time to find out. Give him 2 yards on that play, and it'll be 2nd down. He's been a busy man here in this one, and they're showing off some nice footwork to stay in bounds.
And with those types of catches and the volume that we've seen in this game, wouldn't you keep him busy as well?
I would.
Of course. You got to keep throwing it to him. He keeps making plays.
He'll look to throw. He's got his man on the crossing route. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving.
Never make the mistake that the slot receivers, especially the little guys like we're watching here, are just quicker than fast. A lot of them combine quickness and speed, and they catch a lot of footballs, as we just saw there.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it, and he'll hit the slant route. That's caught by Cooper. That one good for 10 yards, and it'll be 2nd and very short.
It's funny when I go back to our pregame meeting with Amari Cooper, and we mentioned, what if they play man coverage against you? He almost seemed offended by it, didn't he?
I'll beat it. That's basically what it said, right?
I mean, the best receivers we've ever talked to and covered, when you talk about covering them with one guy, they think that's a personal affront. If they feel like if they can't just beat one defender, then they're not very good. A little football 101 there. You just see the receiver try to run down the defender, meaning he goes right at him and really trying to move him a little bit towards the center of the field so he can put his foot in the ground and break to the out, to the sideline, and make a catch.
Pass incomplete.
Holding offense.
And that right there will set him back a bit on the offensive holding penalty.
And you know who you want to pressure after a penalty like that? The guy who just committed the foul. You want to see if he's going to keep his head down or if he's going to get his head right back into the game. I'd send a blitz at him right away and see if he holds up.
And a quick throw here, that's complete. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49.
I know many people like to throw to the tight end, maybe in a little flexed out position because he creates mismatches with his size. But slot receivers do the same thing with their quickness, their speed, and their route running savvy.
Watch him now, Barney!
They'll look to throw again. Over the middle, Cooper with it. And he'll be taken down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 23 yards on the play. So Amari Cooper out of Northwestern High School in Miami making a nice play there.
And it's so funny that when I was going through the draft process when he came out of Alabama and was inquiring about him and his skills, they say it all began back in Miami. He really became a pro receiver at a young age because of his attention to detail and precision. But don't forget his athletic ability. That's what made that catch there.
He did spend 1 year with Teddy Bridgewater as his quarterback there, so that helped back in high school. They come out 5 wide, 3 of them to the right side.
All right, now look at 56.
Again, he'll drop to throw. That's caught at the 2. And he is into the end zone for a Denver touchdown. Jermaine Gresham, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Broncos are in for 6. Boy, it's nice to have that big, reliable target you can go to.
Each and every time. A lot of people see that position as a fallback. Throw it to them when all else fails. Not at all. This guy can make plays, and that's exactly what he just did.
Yeah, play here for a touchdown. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And out now comes Jacksonville as they get ready to go. They have the big lead here late. They protected their home turf well, didn't they?
They certainly did, partner. And just think about how good that feels because...
And the Broncos get there and take him down. He couldn't get rid of it. He takes a sack for a loss of 6 to bring up second down.
Well, the beauty of screen passes is they take a little time to develop, and they can often hit big, but sometimes they take too long to develop, and sometimes you get sacked.
Yeah, what's perfectly called for a defense to attack a screen?
Typically a blitz, and even though people think that the screen operates against the blitz, if you have the blitz called and you still cover the screen, that allows your blitzers to get there.
A stampede of Broncos there that time combined to get him down. So second down was a run play. Now let's see what they do on third. 3rd and long here for Mariota. Flushed out right. He may try and run for this. Call it a gain of 13 yards on the play. And it'll be 4th down.
Partner, as a quarterback, sometimes you just got to know when the clock has gone off in your head, it's time to go. Tuck it and get all you can.
The offense here not budging. They're going to fight for it on 4th and inches. Mariota to throw for it on 4th. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. 5 yards on the pickup, and they're able to convert here on 4th and inches. And they're going to speed things up here.
We always talk about big-time players make big-time plays in big-time moments. I think that 4th down qualified. That was a heck of a throw.
Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. And this will likely be the last play and wrap things up. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to be stopped up at about the 47-yard line. And Charles, I think with his...